So how did the documentary come about? The KEAS rockumentary started off as a uni project initially, which then became something much more ambitious. We pitched the idea as a video for the band, and then that later morphed into the idea of actually doing something a bit longer. We thought surely 6 minutes would be enough. But as we were filming and the more footage we gathered, we realized, no, this is actually an idea that's worth expanding on because it's a story worth telling. Working with two rockstars was actually really fun. Nacho and Isaac are really wonderful people, and they're very approachable and very grounded. So it was a great opportunity for us to create something around the whole legend of the rock scene, but with people who are actually really nice and approachable to work with, which, believe me, doesn't happen all the time in the rock scene. I knew Isaac from uni. We became friends pretty quickly. We used to get together and record music covers, so we did Beatles, The Byrds. Also, we both liked Oasis, and we developed our own impression of how Noel Gallagher and Liam Gallagher would fight in a room. So it was great fun from the start. I then met Nacho after one of their concerts, and it was just great fun to be around. He's a very kind and welcoming person, you know. A memory I have is on the night of the competition, after they won, I walked up to Nacho, hugged him really tight, I said, "Man, you did it." He had this really dumbfounded face, and he said, this can't be happening. And I said, well, it is. It really is happening. What I tried to do was approach it as I would like to see a rockumentary being done. Being a musician myself, I thought it was really important to tell the story from a more inward-looking angle, really trying to get to grips with what the band was feeling and all the setbacks they've had to go through in their career in order to get to where they are right now. I think that makes a really appealing story. At first, it was difficult because it was very much a solo project, but then I was able to bring in my friend, Mr. Alex Winslow. Shout out to Mr. Alex there. And he was really instrumental in pulling off the interviews. When it came to the actual competition, it was pretty much a solo job. But when it came to doing the actual interviews, I was very well backed up by my friend, so it was a really, really great collaboration. I was very much allowed to be a fly on the wall in several occasions. On the last night of the competition, I had to wear this wristband the whole time because I needed access to the posh area, you know, where all the sponsors and the special guests were, because they had the best view of the stage, as they often do. It was challenging to get the shots I wanted. There was a whole operation going on to try and cover the event. There was always someone walking into your frame with a camera, you know. Not having that much space to maneuver meant that you had to be more creative about your approach. So it forced me to explore the space further, and that was great because I ended up doing shots that I don't think I would have come up with otherwise. I got to be there with them as they were laying down some tracks for one of the songs. It really helps when you get to see an artist in the natural habitat, so to speak. I feel it definitely gave me a more incisive view into their story as a band. You get to see how much fun a group of friends can have doing music together, bouncing ideas off each other, trying out different sounds or different takes on the initial idea. It was really inspiring, and I felt really privileged to be allowed in. I was very gratified to see that it hit home, because that's exactly what I had set out to do, was do something that meant something to people, and to see that they enjoyed the portrayal of their story, and later to realize that their followers also enjoyed it as much as they did. That's probably the most fulfilling thing you can do as a creator, is seeing how what you make means something to someone else. After I showed the first raw cut of the documentary, we decided, okay, we have to really end this in a more momentous way. So I suggested, how about we just do an acoustic version of one of the songs? On the day of the shoot, we ended up doing 3 songs. When I was editing them, I thought, this is too good to just, you know, narrow down to 1. So what I ended up doing was, okay, we'll choose 1 for the rockumentary, but I think it's worth putting this out there as a separate thing of its own. We were all actually, I think, really, really happy with the outcome because it was something new, and it gave the band also something new to think about. It was a new exploration of their own material. We love our favorite artists and we love to hear the studio versions of our favorite songs, but there's something refreshing and a different way of relating to the artists when you hear them unplugged, as raw as possible. And I realized these are actually really good songs that hold up in an acoustic format, which is not something everyone can pull off. You know, I can't remember who said this, but one of the best ways to try out a song is by going acoustic and seeing how it holds up. So this was a great opportunity to show them in the most natural form.
Would you like to work with KEAS again in the future?
No, never. Would I like to work with them again? Absolutely. I think it was an amazing experience, and I look forward to exploring what other possibilities, what other new ideas we can do together. We have exciting things coming up soon. We've got an interview coming up from my grandfather, who was a very influential scientist in Costa Rica. So we've got that coming up. That, again, was a uni project that was shut in the drawer for a bit of time before I knew what to do about it. And then this year, it just seemed like the right moment to put it out there. So that's in the works, coming out soon. I'd just like to thank everyone who has been very supportive of the project so far. We're just starting off, and every like, every follow means a lot. And I just really hope people keep enjoying the content, really. So stay tuned, because there's interesting things coming up.